many as Harden just so we can keep up. They were just trying to keep up with Harden. They didn't know what to do. I mean, and if you watch that game, I mean, Harden he hit that little crossover dribble step back, and it just looked easy. I mean, and he got 4-point plays, and he was going to the free throw line, and you're thinking, there's no way we're going to win this game. And then towards the end, we made some big plays. Of course, in overtime, Otto Porter made a big play in overtime where he got a nice steal where he tipped the ball away, and we got the ball back. You mentioned it. Austin Rivers, man. I think I said it last week. I need him to be that slashing type of guy.
You did.
And if you see the highlights, you see him slashing. You see him kind of coming up underneath with little finger rolls. I mean, just to see him playing that way, and you hit the nail on the head when you said it too, is their communication on defense, I think, was the biggest difference in this game compared to looking earlier back in the season, because they weren't letting somebody just pick them and they were going under it, and then they were they were shooting threes and knocking them down. So even though the Rockets played really well and Harden scored a ton of points, we still stuck it in there. We stuck with our game plan. We did what we had to do. John Wall hit some big time shots.
Yeah, he did.
That were
he's answered the bell.
Right, a hand in the face, and he was still making the shots. So I think that we're definitely moving up. We're going up right now, the team. But we definitely, we need a couple more games under our belt to prove that this is not just a hoax. That this is not just, a couple of games. You played really well against some good teams. We'll turn around and we'll lose to the Magic. We'll turn around and we'll lose to Phoenix. We'll turn around and we'll lose to Sacramento. We'll turn around and we'll lose to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, that's just typically how it goes. But I have a lot more confidence that we can do much better now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's got to see if they can sustain this and take this momentum. And hopefully some of the guys that are on the team that are feeling a certain type of way about whether it be their minutes, their role, or maybe it's the team's performance, hopefully they're feeling better about themselves, better about their role because of the winning streak and because of the way the team's playing. Well, let's see if they can keep this going, because like we talked about in the West, no one's out of anything right now. Unless you're the Phoenix Suns, as we've made pretty clear today, you have a chance to make something happen. Brooklyn Net fans shouldn't be holding their heads low. You win a couple of games and get yourself on the right track. You're not out of this thing. There's still hope to make a run and have a decent season. So with the Wizards, yeah, I'm excited and happy to see the way they've been playing lately. My thing is kind of almost like a buyer beware. I need to see this sustained for a while. I know they're not going to win every game, but even in a loss, I want to see, as crazy as to say it, a good loss, like a 2 or 3 point loss. Hey, we fought hard, just didn't end up for us at the end. A play here, a play there. No more blowouts. No more games where you just kind of throw your jersey on the court and hope for the best. We don't need those kind of performances. I want to see a sustained effort from this team before I'm 100% sure that they've really turned this thing around.
Yeah, I think that the best teams in each conference do well at home. You look at
you're right about
the Raptors 9-2, the Bucks 10-2, the Sixers 10-1. They're 10-1 at home, but they're 4-7 away. So the best teams in the conference right now are doing well at home, and we're only 6-5 at home. So we definitely have to do better at playing teams better at home. Even the Brooklyn Nets, you mentioned it. I mean, I'm just saying, I just use the Nets because they're one of those teams that's been one of the bottom echelon.
Yeah, 8-13 so far this year. Yeah.
Yep. But they're 3-6 at home too. So the teams that aren't winning are the teams that don't win at home, is how I look at it. And being 6-5 at home, we're not terrible, but we can definitely do better than 6-5 at home.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got to defend your home court, and you should in theory play better at home as well. So we'll have to see. It's definitely been an up and down season for the Washington Wizards, but the season's not even halfway through, so there's a lot of room for improvement. We'll have to see Dwight Howard healthy on the court. The games he played, he's made an impact on the offensive boards, on the defensive side of the boards. I mean, yes, John Wall leads this team in block shots, but you can't tell me that once they get a consistent game and a consistent minutes from Dwight Howard, he's going to take that leading the team in block shots title away from John Wall pretty quickly. I mean, he can just go out there and get 2 blocks without even trying.
Yeah, I wanna be all in on the Dwight Howard being here because he is such a defensive presence and he can help us on the boards and stuff like that. But until he proves that he can be healthy and play a bunch of games in a row, I'm just not so sure where I stand on that, that signing, because I just haven't seen anything. I mean, he started out with a bang, And then we really haven't. He just kind of fizzled off, and it's like a champagne cork. Once you cut it off, it's just gone and it's off. That's
what an analogy!
He just blew up in that first game. So I do need to see something from him. Jeff Green's been playing awesome. I mean, the plays that he's been making, and John Wall found him. John Wall was cutting to the basket and got double teamed, and John Wall just stuck his hand right out, and Jeff Green was right there and had a nice, easy basket the other day. So Jeff Green's been playing really well. I like Saturansky. He's one of those guys that you don't really look at him and really see much about him, but he's been playing really well lately. I like his defense. I like the way he's been playing on his transition defense and stuff like that. So
yeah, he's underrated. He's one of the more underrated Washington Wizards players. So that's kind of our weekly report on all things Washington Wizards. Going back to the National Basketball Association as a whole, your friend and mine, Pat. We have Markelle Fultz, who we talked about last week. Per his lawyer and his agent, was not going to go any practices, not play any games for the Philadelphia 76ers until he had his shoulder examined by a specialist. It has come out today that those examinations began today, and they're going to be looked at by more than one specialist. And on top of that, now I think the writing's on the wall. If possible, the rumors are that he would like to be taken out of Philadelphia and traded somewhere else. Of course, I think you'd agree with me. It's great he's going to go see specialists so we can finally find out what is the issue, find the treatment plan, and get this kid healthy so he can play the kind of basketball that I used to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching when he played for the University of Washington. So I think we both agree we want to see him healthy. My question to you, Patrick, is now asking to be traded. Do you think that's because – why do you think that is, I guess is my question to you. Why do you think a number one draft pick who has been given lots of opportunities to get healthy, play basketball, now all of a sudden wants to be traded?
I just think he's just not happy with his role with the team. I think he sees more of himself maybe than what the team sees in him. I think you said it's almost the writing on the wall that I was looking at it and they said T.J. McConnell, they were out there trying to trade him and see if they could get him. Well, they pulled that back. They're saying they're not going to trade him anymore because I think that they know he's going to be playing more minutes. With Fultz not there at all on the team at all currently. We don't know when he's going to play again. He might play in a week. He might play in 2-3 months. Who really knows what's going to happen with him? But I just think that moving forward with the team, I thought signing Jimmy Butler was going to be a good thing for him because I thought he could learn from him.
Yeah, we both did.
But I think there's some players that just have this mentality that I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it all along. I don't, no one can tell me what to do. And I'm not trying to put that on him, but I'm saying that's the way it kind of comes across, and that's what I kind of get the vibe that I kind of get from him. Because you got to think, if he could come off the bench and score and help the team, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Are you a team player, or are you a guy that just thinks that you need to score 20 points a game and that you can be the best point guard on the team? It's not about being the best point guard on the team necessarily. It's about doing what's best for the team and helping the team win.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the year, you all get a ring. Whether you played 1 minute or whether you played 33 minutes a game. It'd be nice if the team wins. It'd be nice to actually play in the championship and contribute to that winning a championship. But at the end of the day, no matter who you are, whether you're a bench player or not, you still get a ring. So if you can help that team, and if you're good enough, if you think you're good enough, and you can come off the bench and you can create some opportunities to kind of keep a game close, or even to pull away the game where it's a close game, and they've got Embiid on the bench and they've got Simmons on the bench. I think that he really should embrace it and do it, but he's not. And like you said, he's going to get a couple more people to take a look at the shoulder before he really makes any decision. And I think right now we're just kind of in limbo trying to figure out what he's doing.
I'm going to be the conspiracy theorist. This is what I think's going on. I think the team botched the medical. I think he's given the Sixers lots of opportunities to bring their guys in and find out what's wrong. And I think on Monday it's a shoulder, on Tuesday it's a wrist. They don't know what the heck's going on. So I think this guy's just frustrated. He wants solid, concrete answers. So he's going to go see specialists, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say his lawyer probably handpicked these specialists to find out what's really going on.
Okay.
Let's get out of here, and let's go somewhere where we can get healthy and we can play ball.
I didn't even really, that thought didn't even cross my mind. But now that
I'm here all week.
Now that you mention it, I mean, it does make sense though, because I mean, it happens a lot of times in professional sports where people get misdiagnosed. They say, "Oh, you're fine, go out there," and then you go out there and then you injure yourself, and you're like, "Well, you guys said I was fine. Now what happened? You know, your specialist said I was good." So I mean, it does happen in sports. It's unfortunate, but I like the fact that you said that. It puts it's putting thoughts in my mind. So I appreciate the fact that you even had that take on it, because it really does, show a different side.
Yeah, because I mean, this guy has been. I can just think off the top of my head, it was 3 or 4 different things that were supposed to be wrong with him last year. And it's always something different. And I'm, as a basketball fan, I'm frustrated. So I can't even imagine being him and having to hear all the tweets and the Instagram posts. And I'm sure even his own inner circle. What's going on with you? Are you all right? What's going on? You used to be this. You used to be that. I'm sure there's a little bit of doubt creeping in his mind as well. And he wants to get in the basketball court and show people that he can play basketball. That's why he was drafted number 1 overall for a reason. That wasn't the greatest draft class of all time, but it doesn't matter. You're number 1 for a reason. We've had number 1 draft picks before that were busts because of injury or because of just bad draft years. I mean, I think about a guy like, I take it way back, Michael Olowokandi being number 1 draft pick. Olowokandi was number 1 draft pick because he was 7 feet tall, and nobody really did a really good job, in my opinion, of scouting the rest of that draft class. But for this guy to be number 1, there's a reason why Philadelphia picked him that high. And that's why I think that the team might be telling him one thing on Monday, something different on Tuesday. He's had enough, and he wants to find out what's going on so he can get back to playing the game he loves.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, Greg Oden's another guy that we talk about all the time. That was a bust.
I was all in on Greg Oden.
He could have been the greatest. He could have been, but I think he kind of embraced the the NBA number 1 overall pick lifestyle and just.
Well, you couldn't stay healthy.
And that's what I'm saying. But he kind of was. He was big on the social media and moving and stuff like that. But he just couldn't. He needed to stay healthy first. He needed to get his body ready, and he couldn't do it. Whether it was, something that was. He injured before he came in the NBA or not, but it doesn't matter. If you're the number 1 overall pick and you're not healthy, you're not going to play, and you're just not going to be able to make it in the NBA.
I wonder how often Portland Trailblazers fans just sit there and think about we could have had KD. Because if I was a Blazers fan, I know after another second or first round elimination in the playoffs, I'd say to myself, we could have had KD. But instead, we went with a 7-footer who on paper was supposed to be, like you said, one of the best big men in the NBA if all the hype followed through with the play on the court. But the knees just would not allow him to do it. I'm kind of putting this on you on the spot. We didn't talk about it before we did the show, but I kind of wanted to just get your thoughts just real quick, man. Just some teams that you and I were really big on at the beginning of the season that have kind of taken a little dip. I mean, I think about like Sacramento. I'm still high on the Kings. I think they can still win upwards of 40 games, but they've been kind of up and down, what you expect from a young team. Portland, we talked about, was in both our top 10s last week, and now neither one of us have Portland in our top 10 for this week. And, of course, we do the top 10 week to week, so it's very possible that next week Portland can come in at 9 or 8 or even 10 or maybe 3, for God's sakes. Who knows? But those are just 2 teams I think of that were really doing well, caught our attention, young, exciting teams that have kind of gotten a little bit of bumps here and there in the last couple of games.
Well, I mean, you definitely got to look at a couple. I mean, you mentioned Portland because they were number 1 last week in the Western Conference. They're 12-8 now. They lost 3 games in a row. A team, and it has a lot to do with injuries. But the Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans. They were up in my top 10 last week.
Yeah, they were.
They've lost 4 in a row. They're 10-11. I mean, Anthony Davis. I'm not sure yet if he is going to play tonight. But the last word I heard was that he was, but it's still up in the air. So we don't know if Anthony Davis is going to play tonight or not. I mean, but you look at a team like the Sacramento Kings. I mean, they're 10-10 in the Western Conference right now. They've lost 2 in a row. We've really seen a lot. That's De'Aaron Fox. Man, he is so fast. I love the way he plays. Bagley. I mean, they got a lot of good players there. And then of course, if you look in the Eastern Conference, you're talking about a team like the Miami Heat. I mean, they lost 2 in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10. I mean, we're talking about the Miami Heat. We're talking about Dwayne Wade. We're talking about they were one of the top.
Old Dwayne Wade.
Right, well, old Dwayne Wade. I'll give you that. But I didn't think that they would be as 7-13 the beginning of the season. Hassan Whiteside. No, I just didn't see that team looking like that right now.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with the Miami Heat, but I mean, yeah. And then they also talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, obviously, before we went on the air today, J.R. Smith, Houston Rockets could be a potential trade there. You had the young bull, Colin Sexton, the first-round draft pick for the Cleveland Cavaliers, talking about him not being able to play the game